What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. You know who it is. It is Goose Crusher. Yes, I have the hiccups right now. I'm sorry. But today we're going to be reacting to scary stories. It's an emanation story. If you haven't listened to it, you should listen to it because it's pretty cool and it's pretty scary. So let's go to YouTube. Okay, yes, I already have it loaded up. So just make sure, please subscribe to me. Oh my god. Just subscribe. And hope you guys have a great day. Okay, so story number 1. Wow, it's loading.
This story happened when I was only around 9 years old.
Okay.
We lived in a basic two-story house.
Whoa. Okay, to pause that video, why would you live in a two-story house? Two-story houses are crazy. You live in the middle of the woods. If you say that, you should never lived in it. Wow.
In a very small village with only about 100 people.
Wow.
Every year, on the 4th of July, our village had the fireworks show and all the people went to the community park to watch it together. But I couldn't go that year because I had just recently broken my arm, and the doctor told me not to go to any public places for about a week.
Nice.
I was really bummed about.
How you broke your arm?
Just to give you a basic layout of our house, our living room was connected to our front door. If you keep walking forward, you would have got into the kitchen, take a left from there, and that's where my room was on the first floor. Anyway, when it was about 8 o'clock p.m., all of my family went to the park. I was in the living room and started watching some cartoons.
Wait, that's a scary emanation too. I watched that.
I was getting tired, so I...
Why would you?
I was in the living room and started watching.
That girl, if you haven't ever watched it, she was a psychopath. She killed people, and a guy rescued the guy behind him, but he didn't get hit, as you can see.
Some cartoons.
Right there, he didn't get hit, and
about half an hour had passed.
Two boys.
I was getting tired, so I turned off the TV and went to my bedroom. I took off my glasses and started to doze off soon. I was almost asleep when I heard the front doorknob turning. I thought it was my family getting back from the park. So I got up and looked out of my room. I hadn't put my glasses back on, so everything was a bit blurry. But I could see clearly that there was only one person in the window. Seeing that not everybody was in front of the door, I felt a little scared, so I shut my bedroom's door and went back to my bed. But then, I heard the door open and then close. I immediately noticed that I didn't lock the door, which my mom had asked me to do before she left. I wanted to punch myself.
Okay, lady, why would you not lock the door? You're so, not to be rude, you're not that smart. Every person that's leaving in their home alone, you should lock your door, please. Let's play the video.
Then I heard a faint voice say, "Hello, is anybody home? I have some candy. I can give it to you if you want. Just come out of the room that you're in." I quickly got off my bed and hid under it. I tried to be as quiet as possible, but because of my arm, it hurt so bad that I started crying. At the time, I didn't have a cell phone, so it was impossible to call the police. The man was walking towards the kitchen. Soon, he opened my room's door, and I covered my mouth to not make any noises. I saw the man walk up to my bed and stop. He leaned all the way down slowly, and then I saw his face. He had chapped lips and a really scruffy chin, and he...
This video wants me to quit. This is scary.
was smiling. My heart dropped. I hit my arm on my bed frame when he grabbed me out from under my bed. And next, he made me stand up. He said, "Why don't you come with me? I have lots of candy at my house."
Wow.
Which made me so scared. I couldn't move or say anything but just cried while he stared at my face. He then picked me up and started carrying me outside. I kicked and screamed. He tried to get in the white van. He tried to open the door and I managed to fall loose and landed right on my back in the grass. I got up as quick as I could and made a run all the way to the park.
You're
I
scary.
found my family and told them everything that just happened to me while crying. My dad called the police as we got in the car to go to the hospital since I felt so much pain in my arm. All that I remember was I had woken up in a hospital bed with a different colored cast on my arm. After that, we got home and the police were still there. They caught the man under my bed. They said that he was probably waiting for me to come back home. He actually had a criminal record of pedophilia, sexual assault, rape, and murder.
Oh
The
my
police
gosh,
said that
that's
he
too
had
much.
escaped 2 days ago and they've been looking for him since. My family has moved to a bigger town since then. I hate to think about what might have happened if I wasn't able to get loose of his grip. But it comes to my mind every day.
Wow. A mystery man is standing outside and trying to enter my house. Yes, must be super scary, sir. Don't try this, guys. Don't watch this at night.
My name is Pascal. I'm 22 years old
Wait,
now, but
why would you drink beer, bro? And it's 12:34 after my friend started recording. What is going on here?
this event happened 3 years ago when I was 19. It happened in the middle of the night when my
Wow.
parents were away for an important company meeting. The company was kind of far away from where we lived, so I
That's
stayed home
far.
by myself while they were gone. One time, while I was at home alone, I looked out the window randomly and froze. There was a tall man, almost dressed entirely in black. He was wearing a tuxedo and holding a kitchen knife. This guy was standing right outside of the door, looking at me. He wasn't laughing at all, and his head was twitching continuously. "Sir, please get off our property, otherwise I'll call the police." I opened the window and told him. Then the man replied, "No, you can do that if you want, as long as you don't look away." Because of this strange attitude, I felt anxious, so I grabbed my cell phone and called the police. But when I looked out the window again, he was gone. At that very moment, I heard footsteps coming from downstairs. I suddenly remembered that I forgot to lock my garden door, so it was still open. I thought I was gonna die at first, but then I pulled myself together. I got my bat and looked down the stairs, slowly, trying not to make a sound. There he was. He was just staring at me. He didn't move, but said, "I told you not to look away." A few moments later, we heard sirens. The man still did not move. But then he suddenly changed his mind and walked over to me. I tried to swing my bat towards him, but I was so scared. I couldn't do anything except scream. The police broke down the door. One policeman tried to arrest him, and the other one tried to take the knife away from him, but the man resisted. He was strong. Even though he was outnumbered, they couldn't stop him. They threatened to shoot him in the foot, but he didn't care. Furthermore, he attacked the two policemen, and they tumbled down to the ground. I ran to one of the rooms and slammed the door shut, but he kicked in the door. When the door opened, I could see his face, and I will never, ever forget that moment. However, at that very moment, the police caught up to him and shot his foot. The guy started screaming in pain. Shortly after that, he managed to jump outside of a window and disappeared.
Wow.
The policemen chased after him, but unfortunately, they failed to arrest him. I never saw that guy again. I'm glad that I survived that incident, but I also feel nervous that he'll come to my house again. From that day on, I always made sure I locked all the doors and windows.
What? What? This is scary. This is so scary, just gotta say. Well, next video. Hold up. Look at it. Oof. It says, I made the creepiest friend at the deep web. Never go to deep web, people, please. Another scary videos again.
When I was a teenager, I would often explore the deep web with my friends, specifically weird stuff on Hidden Wiki. There were definitely a lot of links to choose from. I never clicked on the violent links because I'm not into that. My friend Latrice told me, click on one that says, new best friend. After doing so, it takes you to a page where you have to make a profile. I put the name Lisa on my profile. My real name is Susan. Once I made the profile, you are directed to a main page that has categories. They were silly, serious, smart, and smothering. We clicked smothering. I thought it was funny. After choosing, there was a list of people with their pictures, male and female. I clicked on a profile of a guy that had the name 5, like the number 5. I entered, and it didn't seem like someone who would be a smothering friend. When I was searching through his profile, I received a message from him asking if I were looking for a friend. I looked at Latrice, and she laughed, but also told me to respond yes. So we're messaging back and forth for maybe 30 minutes, and then Latrice had to go.
Okay.
I told him I'll be back on tomorrow, and he said okay. Maybe a week went by where I would talk to him every night. He seemed very nice, so we exchanged numbers so we could talk more. Everything seemed fine until I clicked on another profile and someone else messaged me. I started talking with this other person, but still was texting the guy 5, which I knew his real name now as William. The new guy had the name Bill on his profile. A day went by, and he seemed cool, but then William randomly asked me why I was talking with Bill. I didn't know what to say, so I never responded. He kept texting with angry messages, so I blocked him. I didn't receive any texts, only a single message on that site, and it said soon. One day after school, my friend Latrice came over to have a sleepover. We got comfortable, went to my room, and did our usual of surfing through the web, being nosy. I brought up that guy, then I received a text message that said, "Why'd you block me?" from a random number. I replied with a question mark. Then he replied, "It's me, William." He texted me from another number after I blocked him. I told Latrice how creepy this guy is. Then Latrice stopped me from talking because she thought she heard something. Then I heard a voice. "I'm not that creepy."
Wow, I'm not that creepy. Why would you say, freaking run out the house, break that window and run? I would do the same thing. This is scary. I'm about to get freaked out in my room and my Xbox making weird noises. I'm sorry.
We both responded by screaming and looking around. I saw someone coming from under my bed, so we ran screaming out of my room, and my mother called the cops. They didn't get him because he left through my window, and nothing could be traced back to him. I'm starting to think that he was both of the people I was talking to. That definitely opened my eyes to the dangers of the internet. I would never visit the dark web again.
Woman in a purple dress. Okay.
A few years ago, me and my family went on our yearly holiday to Madeira.
Did you see this kid? Oh. Hold on. I can't pause it yet.
A few
Look at this kid drooling on the side. Why would you drool on the side? You got a heart mouth? What's wrong with you? And she's drooling too.
years
Why?
ago, me and my family
Why?
went on our yearly holiday to Madeira, which
Ooh,
is
that's
the
a good place.
birthplace of my parents. It was pretty normal for us to go annually, as our grandparents were living there. We would sleep in one of our grandparents' home, and during the day, we would go to festivals. If you do not know much about Madeira, then this story will probably give you a better idea. It's not
Wait,
that a
wait,
physical
wait, I think I spotted the purple dress girl already.
festivals.
But,
If you do not know much about Madeira, then this story will probably give you a better idea.
right there on the side, look at here. Right behind her grandpa or dad. Right there, that might be the purple dress girl. Yee, that's super scary. I think I might spotted one early.
It's not that a physical thing occurred that holiday. It was just this nightmare that became very real for me as a child. As I said before, I was staying at my grandparents' house while in Madeira. I had a room to myself on the upper floor.
Oh,
It was
dolls.
pretty creepy, since my grandmother loved Victorian-style dolls.
Oh my god.
Once I was able to fall asleep, I had a creepy dream that I can't forget. I woke up, and from my bed, I could hear movement on the floor. I looked down to see that the floor was covered in black insects, just crawling around. I could not see the almond brown wood floorboards, and began to yell for help. Someone opened my door, and I saw my little brother come in, but behind him was a woman in a hideous purple dress.
See, that's the
I
girl
never
from the
saw this
beginning.
woman before, but before my brother even
Hold up.
came closer to me,
I'm sorry, guys.
I
Oh, no,
could not see
just leave
the
it, just leave
almond
it. Just
brown
leave it.
wood floorboards.
As you saw in the
and
beginning,
began to
you
yell
guys
for
can
help.
rewind it. Hold on.
Someone opened.
You guys can rewind it yourself. That girl was behind her dad. Why was she dancing? Why was she dancing? That's the weird part.
My door, and I saw my little brother come in, but behind him was a woman in a hideous purple dress. I never saw this woman before,
Scary.
but before my brother even came closer to me, I saw the woman force her hand into his back and tear out his heart. I remember screaming in the dream, and all the woman said was,
hard.
"Your parents aren't here." And I woke up. I was so scared that I went into the next room where my brother should have been asleep. But because it was dark, I couldn't see him. Well, I was a dumb kid. My anxiety level rose even higher. I ran out, went downstairs, and none of my parents were around. I started to panic more because of what that lady in my dream said, and I started to cry even more. Then I heard my older brother call my name from up the stairs. Hey. The stairs I just ran down. I told him I had a bad dream, and he stayed in my room after showing me that my little brother was snoring away in his bed. The next morning, my brother told my parents how I behaved, so my mother asked me what happened. I told her about the dream with the lady in the hideous purple dress. My mother's face became serious, and she looked worried. I didn't know why, since that was unusual for her. About 2 years later, I was going through my parents' wedding album in our home in Madeira, while I was sorting out the top floor of the house with my younger brother. I noticed that one of the pictures was ripped in half. I thought it was unusual.
Why was it
So I began looking through to see where the other half was. It wasn't in the album. I brushed it off. About an hour later, I was going through one of the drawers in the living room cabinet. I saw this picture of a woman in a purple dress. She looked almost identical to the woman in my dream. It was the same dress. I began to get goosebumps, so I put the album on top of a table and opened it to the page with the teared-up picture. I began to shiver once the tear of both pictures fit perfectly well together. With worry, I began to ask my mother who was in the image. All I know to this day is that she is perceived as a witch and fled with my maternal uncle from Madeira. Soon after, the whole community began to believe it. This is possibly all just a coincidence, but it does send a shiver down my spine. I've never met this woman, but she appeared in my dreams. I have no idea on whether or not I will forget the specific details of that dream, especially since I found out more about this woman, who is my aunt-in-law.
Peace. Bruh, why pizza? Why would you just have pizza? I would want pizza. Okay guys, this is it for the video. If you liked it, we can do a part 2 of this video. It's gonna be pretty cool. If you guys really like horror movies or horror videos, this might be your YouTube video. So, like and subscribe and turn on the notification bells. If you really love the video, I'm gonna give a like for this guy. Like. Ah! Okay guys, just please subscribe to Goose, not Goose, yeah. That's me, subscribe to me. Thank you. Just like the video and subscribe to Skull Crusher P2TTM. He's gonna be linked in the description. Please subscribe, like, and Goose Crusher out.